Did you know that international students actually pay 3 to 4 times more than domestic students for tuition? Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I thought it was more actually, but yeah.
I actually did, but I have no idea why.
I always thought it had something to do with since they're receiving education from outside their homeland, they have to, I guess, pay more because they're taking away spots for students who are living here residentially to go to school, right?
I would think that since international students haven't been paying tax, so it's like making up to why our fees are so high.
I'm not exactly sure, but I'm thinking that the school have a budget, so they basically want to raise the budget from the international student because they don't want to put too much pressure on the local student. So I guess that's the reason why, and they have those assumption that the international student have more money, probably.
The SFU website shows the typical costs for Canadian and international students during the 2017-2018 year. An undergraduate domestic student taking 5 3-credit courses would pay an estimated fee of $2,770 for the term. On the other hand, an international student taking the same amount of courses would pay an estimated fee of $12,125 for the term. That's over 4 times the amount that domestic students pay. Now, there are a number of misconceptions around why this is. Speaking to SFU, we were able to clarify the reasons behind international students paying so much more. At the heart of this difference is that domestic seats are funded by the government, while international seats are not. These seats or spaces for domestic students are subsidized so that every domestic student receives a certain amount of money which goes towards their education. Additional seats are then offered to international students. These seats do not have any funding, so they cost more for the students. Still, tuition increases at a higher rate for international students than for domestic students. A move SFU says is to address the increasing costs of education. For international students in need of financial aid, SFU offers scholarships, bursaries, and work-study opportunities. Do you think that the difference is fair? 4 times the amount? Is that a fair amount, or is that too much or too little? The states I know charges more.
Yeah, the states do charge more. I mean, it feels really unfair on like a student-to-student level because you're trying to be everybody's peer. But the school has a budget it needs to meet, and so it has to sort of think if most of our income is coming from students, like we have to raise tuition for some people, and if we're getting the subsidies for other students, then there's just no way you're getting around it. Yeah, there's also a serious investments, international investments into Vancouver right now, and so the school is probably trying to get onto that as well. Rightly so. Rightly so, they should.
Well, sure, but I mean, it's not about whether it's fair or not, right? It's at a practical level, it doesn't matter what you charge if people are willing to pay for it. I mean, if people can stop paying for it, then you're coming to that point where there is a necessity to stop asking for that money. But then if there isn't, then people are going to keep paying for it because they can afford it, right? Like, or you get a scholarship. If you think about comparing two countries, I applied to 8 universities in America before coming to SFU, and the only reason was because it was cheaper to come here. Oh, nice. So when you're at a comparative level, it's easier to come here than to go to the US. So you're still getting some amount of tuition off, right? So it's your choice. Do you want an international education or not, right?